So this to decide. The winner goes on to face. The winner goes on through 2 wins, and you're out of the group. The loser will go in and face Recursive to get themselves out. We'll then have the 2 best of 8 played simultaneously. We're going to get this game underway. We're seeing a map overview of DE Inferno. I'm sure you recognize it, but we're going to go straight into the match. Here we go. We're live. Lopez, very quickly, who's going to win?
NIP.
That was quick.
That was quick. He asked me to be quick.
I did. We're underway. There you go. As we have NIP probably
making their push up middle right now. It's going to be met by Pasha.
Here we go. Forrest leads the charge, and it's going to be opening frag coming in from Snacks. He gets himself 2 frags before Exist and Forest return fire and get themselves back on the board. NIP charge down towards the pit, and there's Taz and Bialy waiting for them. Frag apiece. We're down to a 1 versus 1 now. Freiburg on Neo. Neo full health, knows exactly where the bomb is and can just afford to say, Freiburg, come and get it. Come and get it. Neo gives away his position, though. Those 2 shots over the side. Freiburg now knows exactly where he is. They're going to do the dance around the bomb site. Nade out to try and bait Neo in. Neo's too smart for that as he goes through and lands maybe a shot onto Freiburg, who's picked up the bomb and is now going to go straight into the site. Here comes Neo, though, waiting for no one. Charges in. 10 points to help there for Freiburg, but a headshot dispatches of the pole. And NIP needed something big and got it.
Yeah, that was a really nice shot by Freiburg. I think he had like 3 bullets left in his clip. Little hope of pulling that off, but sick 1 shot there in the head of Neo. It was almost certain that Neo was going to be able to win that round, but just a sick individual performance by Freiburg.
So that's my question to you. Did Neo play that poorly, or did Freiburg play that well?
Neo played that fine. I mean, Freiburg just hit a crazy shot. If you hit shots like that, there's very little an opponent can do.
So the delay, ladies and gentlemen, just so you're aware, some kind of unconfoundable error on 3 straight PCs for 1 player, which was Get Right. He had 3 PCs that just wouldn't give him the performance he was looking for. We've moved on to a 4th, and 4 seems to be the magic number for Get Right. As Get Right, right on cue, commentator's curse, gets a bullet in the head from Taz, and maybe I spoke too soon. As Pasha will use the smoke. We've seen him do this once before, but Exist smarter than the Americans were, and he gets himself that frag. And for an eco round, let's talk about the effect of what that delay could have had on either side.
Well, I think in general, when things like that happen, it usually favors the more experienced team. Though in this case, it's a tie. So in that case, I think it probably favors the U.S. in the sense that it just takes NIP off their game maybe a little bit, and especially might affect Get Right a little bit, having to go through multiple PCs, not being able to warm up while everybody else has all the time in the world. So might help U.S. just a very tiny bit, but I mean, NIP got all of that back and more when Freiburg hit that USB 1 shot on the pistol round.
Yeah, suddenly it looked like NIP had been warmed up for hours. But, yeah,
well, they were.
Yeah, well, 4 of them were.
Yeah.
Bomb goes down and Forrest cleans out. I was watching US and chatting with them a little bit. They were playing aim maps. They were keeping warm. They weren't missing any opportunity to get themselves fully prepared for this. But we'll see. That can have an effect on players, or it could just isolate itself to 1. Heaton himself, he was pretty open. He was pretty calm during the whole thing, pretty happy, and I imagine he's a player who doesn't really enjoy being on the sidelines when he watches a tournament like this. Whereas Freiburg will lead the push-up banana. Nade comes flying down as he makes his way in. Will ping out his grenade. There are 2 players up at B lying in wait for him as Pasha is there. And it will be Nip who just waited to see whether Universal Soldiers have made any kind of push. They've not really done anything, and they've just Nip are now ready to kind of run their game. Was there a pick to be had? Actually, there was in the end. Bialy's been picked off, and that'll allow a follow-up frag from Exist and Freiburg, and that's 3 men down, and Nip have barely taken any damage. Just Fifth Laren down to 70 points of health, and Pasha the last man standing. And so this is going to close out a successful pistol conversion for NIP and put them up 3-0 on T-side. Talk us through Matt Bias on this one. What's a T-sided score that you want?
recently we've seen teams put a very good terrorist halves. The thing in Counter-Strike, on any given map in Counter-Strike in general, is the fact that the money system can just completely reverse the scores on any map. So regardless of a map being CT-sided, if the terrorist team get off to a good start, they win the pistol round, win the first weapon round, something we saw Fnatic do against Navi on the Metro and Mirage much earlier today. You know, it just can completely mess up the counter-terrorists. So winning key rounds is the most important thing. I don't think half necessarily matters when top teams play each other.
Neo pushed down Miali and thought there was something there for him. It wasn't in the end. There are two players lying for him. It's Snacks that's going to try and pick up the running there, but Forest shuts him down. And what was kind of standard Universal Soldiers aggression, use your talent, use your natural born ability to get kills in Counter-Strike, didn't actually work for them that time. We're in a 3 versus 3 though, and that favors the T's at all times.
Yeah, it does certainly. And this is a moment where, as a counter-terrorist, you would probably want to take a risk somewhere, because when you play these default spots, ultimately the terrorists are probably going to have 3 people attacking 1 or 2 people, and that's obviously going to favor NIP here. But we'll see what the Swedes choose to do. It looks like they are going to head towards the A side, and Taz is going to be the one seeing Forest here, just any second now behind this corner.
And here he comes, running around the corner. Taz spies him, he nips into spawn, goes out for the second, but Fiflaren will shut him down with a headshot. Fiflaren took a lot of damage there. Nip out with 2 players on low health. Is there something that Bialy can do? He's more than capable of going double as he pushes in. He's got 2 players coming around to the pit. He needs support. The rotation from B was so slow. And Pasha is now coming into spawn. The bomb will go down, and Pasha in the end will have to save out that gun. But to your point, had they stayed as 3, one side or another, they were always going to be stronger together.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you don't really want to have all 3 go to one side, because then if you have the retake, you're pretty much toast. So what I would have suggested is have someone, say Bialy, just push through the hallway and clear that area, and then potentially flank someone in the middle, and then keep spotting in middle aggressively instead of playing so far back where Taz was playing by in front of the library area and former small pit area, because when you're playing so far back, NIP is already too close for your rotation to get there. And especially on a map like Inferno, where the rotation is still fairly far, as we saw at Pasha. He was just way too far to be able to be of any help for Bialy. You just want to spot the opponents very early on to be able to make the rotation.
So 4-0. First gun round lost by Universal Soldiers. Lost the pistol round. There's a random shot of the good BYOC area of DreamHack. And we'll spy with only 1 gun. They'll probably load Pasha up on one site, like the last time.
Yeah, that is likely what's going to happen. Pasha is peeking middle aggressively, and we'll see what, if anything, he's able to do with that gun. Looks like he isn't going to just mindlessly peek too much. He's falling back a little bit now, trying to decide where to go. But US not really doing too much as a team right now, though Taz does have a pair of dualies in his arms, or hands rather. If I was US, I would just do something more as a team and just try to get a little lucky on the partial save round, because playing like this, you sort of need Pasha to do something really huge here for them to have a chance to realistically win this round without NIP making plenty of mistakes, which they normally don't do.
Heaton told me earlier on that he thought that his team were more prepared than they ever have been. And this far, we've seen them, as you said, they've made no mistakes. They played everything by the book. The rounds have been expensive, and NIP haven't really been able to waltz all over the poles, but we're only 4 rounds in. Let's not write a book about them just yet, as Freiberg is ready to push in. He's got Neo lying right in front of him. He's got reinforcements coming up the rear, and it'll be Freiberg to lead the charge in. And here we go. Waiting in his face is Snacks. Gets himself 1 frag before NIP return with 2. Asher, though, comes up with a double frag. And here we go. NIP move the bomb in. They've got Bialy and Taz, who may as well go for it. They're going to come up Banana and try and make something happen for them as they slow down so as not to be heard. They will have a tough entry in, but they may look for some of the weapons on the floor as they go in there to help them out. And they've done exactly that. They've got 2 AKs, and it's a 2-on-2 retake here. It's not impossible for the Poles here as they push through. Forest is lying in wait. They get themselves picked off first, and Fiflaren will take that frag onto Taz, and Bialy will say, all right, cut my losses, I'll get a gun.
Yeah, that's a very good save round for US, obviously, getting 3 kills, even if Pasha had a gun. I mean, US kept that 1 gun. It's not the same weapon, but gun nevertheless. And they were able to take out 3 of NIP, so a good effort by them. And Pasha was actually really close to getting a 3rd kill there, and that might have been the difference between winning that round and just putting up a very good fight.
There is NIP on your screen. You can see behind them the wall of fans that they exclusively have. Only one man behind, a few behind Universal Soldiers, but NIP...
To be fair, there's a little wall blocking people watching ESC, and I don't think a lot of people are allowed to be sitting behind this area. So, but it's not to say NIP doesn't have the biggest following at DreamHack, because they do for sure.
They do. I'm pretty sure there was a "Get Right, Have My Baby" sign that I passed earlier, as Freiburg is going to lead the assault for NIP as they push in, and it'll be Freiburg who's going to get picked off in the back here. Bjarly and Taz have got themselves 3 frags between them. Exist and Get Right say, not so easily, son. And Pasha is going to have to get himself involved. It's 3-on-1. It's Get Right, the man with all the PC problems, but the man who can deliver in a situation like this down in the pit. Laying fire,
nice shot there
with a huge headshot onto Pasha, and a 1-on-3 suddenly becomes a 1-on-2. In goes the Incendiary Grenade down and towards that pit. Get Right pushed all the way back inside it. He doesn't have the bomb. Can get it pretty easy.
But he does have plenty of time, and he will be able to get the bomb. So, I mean, this is the world's best clutch player right here. We'll see if he's able to turn this round around.
They've got to play this one by the numbers here. Leave him be.
Could be a very devastating loss for US if they are still unable to get on the board here.
Oh, Get Right with his second headshot, but Snack says no. And that is almost brilliant. But by margins, not just enough. And US have finally got themselves on the board. It's going to be 5-1.
And, I mean, that was a really nice effort by Get Right. And getting those 2 kills is actually really, really huge.
It's very expensive. No money left in the bank for US.
Now US has very little money. I mean, a couple of their players do because of saving those weapons. I think it was Bjarly who saved the gun in the previous round. But, I mean, otherwise, they're going to be broke so much sooner because of that. And it's not going to be a full buy, which it would have been otherwise.
And there they go again. Snacks pushed all the way down Banana. They've done this already in the opening few rounds. They go aggressive. They try to take a position. Didn't work for them this time around. Didn't work for them last time around. As Freiburg's going to go there. Pasha gets himself a frag in. It's going to go tit for tat. We're on a 3 versus 3. I'm sure we've been here before. And Nip will regroup in the center. How do you play this one from here?
Well, once again, as US, I would do something. I would try to find out where NIP is doing. I would spot a lot more aggressively than they are. Right now, Bjarly is in danger of letting Get Right sneak up way too close once again, although I think he gets spotted now. But I would just try to find out what NIP is doing more aggressively. US is letting NIP make all the moves, and you don't want to let a team like NIP play in their comfort zone.
So they have made the rotation over towards A little bit quicker, but Forrest has got the bomb in spawn. He's going to go through, takes down Taz. Where's he going to go? He's got his back turned to the one US player who's there. No, Neo is waiting for him as he comes around the corner. Forrest delivers again, and that leaves Bjarly to go 1 versus 2 with 19 points of health. Piflaren gets out of there just as Bjarly did open up to him, and Forrest will run that bomb in towards the B site, waiting on Bjarly's move, and Bjarly, slow to get out of A, probably will decide it's better to have a weapon than not, and probably will say, right, that's going to be 6-1.
Yeah, I mean, he should say with 19 health in a 1v2. Odds of him winning this are very, very low, and just goes to show NIP is very good at converting these 3v3 situations. Once again, I feel like US misplayed the round, and it's going to cost him.
He's not holding back.
He should be. So that's another mistake on top of the mistake that he's already
and he's going to get picked off by Forrest. Surely no. Now he's pulling back. But he had appetite for that.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, I want it. I really want it. But I can't have it. And Forrest will go down in the end. Still expensive for an IP, though. And you wonder whether that'll come into play later on. They do have a fair amount of cash in the bank.
It could come into play later on, but right now, US is broke. They're going to have to save once again, and that's going to allow NIP to go up 7-1, short of a sort of a save round win here for the Polish side. And NIP are just racking up rounds at a rate that it's going to be very, very hard for US to match him, even after changing sides. You don't want to let NIP roll away with a big lead. I mean, the terrorist side was the one they had problems with against Recursive earlier today when they went down from a 14-4 lead all the way down to, I think, 13-15 before finally closing them out. So we already know their counter-terrorist side is in shape. And it's a lot easier to grind out rounds without even, like, or not really grind out, but just win rounds without giving it your all on the CT side because you're sort of just waiting for the other team to attack. So this is when NIP is going to be working for it, and you really have to get some stops. You can't let him win all those close rounds because otherwise you're going to be toast.
Exist at the top of the banana walkway, bomb at the bottom of it. NIP not really committed either way. They've got two just pushed up in the direction of A, looking to see whether anyone poked their head out. They haven't. Bjarly's got the one gun on the CT side. Few shots fired for effect. Taz is going to get a grenade to tie his shoelace for him, and that'll take him down to 32 points of health as he slowly looks for a peek. He now gets the sight. He now says, right, guys, get to A quick. It's incoming. And Taz will retreat quickly. Bjarly's going to get into action. Opens up with a frag. Doesn't take anything back either. Nice work from him. But there are 4 more where that came from as NIP make their way in towards the site. And Bjarly is going to have his work cut out for him here. He's doing a bit of damage, but he's going to get pushed back. And he may decide once more a weapon's worth having. And they'll collect a few more. Pasha's got himself an AK. They'll go for some exits. They'll try and see whether they can make this more expensive. But with 4 NIP players left up, they're not going to be able to get in. It's going to be 7-1. And I kind of feel this is really against how Universal Soldiers want to play. They want to be aggressive. They want their individual talent to carry them through, because that's what some of these guys have done for a long, long time. But it's not working for them at the moment.
Yeah, it really isn't. NIP are just getting those early picks and trades. Well, not necessarily even picks. So far, it's been trades. But like we said a million times today, I feel like on the terrorist side, you want to go for trades. You want to go down from 5v5 to 4v4 or 3v3. You always want to do that. So when Universal Soldiers do their aggressive pushes, but they only get trades, that's going to always favor NIP. And they're very good at converting those mid-round situations to their favor, as we've seen so far in this half.
Buy round, but not a good one. Pyjamas is out for Pasha, although I will say in their game against iBuyPower, his Pyjamas was pretty beautiful. As Exist will push up. Flash comes over the top, and NIP have got 3 players pushed up mid towards A. Only 1 on the banana walkway at the moment, and Get Right's jumped all the way up. As he lies in wait for Universal Soldiers. Bjarly's in the house. He knows he's got action coming his way. He fires off a few shots, shoots his load a little too early there, and now that's allowed them to push in because they know the moment he goes for that reload, he will fall back. And you can see those 4 X-ray enhanced shadows making their way towards him. Bjarly's waiting to just get confirmation, and then he'll drop down into the pit. Here he goes. He's got that confirmation. He's going to fall back and say, yep, guys, it's coming. And Forrest is going to lead the charge. And you feel like NIP are setting the agenda here. US being pushed further and further back as Pasha pokes his head into the smoke. Nothing there for him. Well, there is something there, but US forced to fall back. Quick look at the minimap spies. 2 men. Perhaps retreating here as they push in. It's going to be Neo who's going to get some action here as Freiburg comes towards him. He's right in front of him. Neo gets the frag. Opening frag finally for Universal Soldiers. It's going to be traded out by Forrest. Double headshot. He doesn't miss from there. But Pasha and that Pyjamas powers away too. Universal Soldiers going frag for frag. But finally, after the early trades, have got themselves a man to the good. It's Forrest and Exist to cover a 2-on-3 after plant as the incoming players come now. It's going to be all on Snacks to deliver onto Exist, and the last man standing was Forrest, and 2 headshots seems to be his count. And Universal Soldiers on the board, 2nd round of the game for them.
For a second, that actually looked like Forrest's 2 quick headshots heading into the A side from hallway. The hallway was going to be enough for NIP to get entry, but Pasha came back with that Pyjamas. He just hyped up so much, and he actually lived up to it. Maybe Castro's curse isn't real after all. It's not, by the way.
I'm as surprised as you are that I know something, but seemed to happen. And Universal Soldiers will slog on here. Pasha now on his AK as they need to not lose this gun round.
This is a really big round for Universal Soldiers. They really want to win this round because otherwise they're not going to have money to buy next round. So once again, this round is basically worth 2 rounds for NIP. If they win this round, they are also going to win the round after. So that effectively put up a 9-2. Whereas if Universal Soldiers win this, NIP is still going to buy next round. But if they win 2 rounds in a row, maybe the Swedes will have to save. All of a sudden, the Poles will be within striking range. And they might be getting to somewhat even score by the half. They could even still go up 8-7. In the best case scenario. So this is where it all begins. This is what the round they need to win because they really need to string rounds together. They can't win one and lose one because that's not how you can ever come back as a counter-terrorist.
This is the one round that haven't been 2 in B. And this is going to be the round when there are 3 men coming up the banana walkway, 4 men coming up the banana walkway with a bomb. And Neo is going to have to roll back the years here as he goes in towards the Slack. Tickets of damage. He's going to push in. It's the 6 that's in there. And here we go. Neo jumps down, gets picked off by the first man, can't hold up the assault. And their bomb will go down. If I'm US, you have to hold back. Don't engage. You're not going to get this Slack back if they can't get a frag from afar.
Yeah,
they're not even landing anything.
Yeah, if I'm the US, I make sure all 4 of us save our guns, and we don't lose any of them, and then we can still buy next round. But it has to be all 4. We can't lose a single other gun. That's why I actually think it's a bit of a mistake that they're running back so early, because if they were making noise for a little bit longer, NIP would have thought maybe they're going for it. Because now I think they're probably going to start chasing.
Well, they've left 3-4 in the bomb side actually still.
Yeah, and NIP actually playing very passively. This is very surprising to me. I thought they were going to chase US for sure, but maybe they're also a little worried because they don't have a lot of money in the bank. I mean, they still have a monetary advantage, but it looks like they are playing it safe indeed here.
I feel there are a few sayings in CS shoutcasting that you can really just kind of rinse, lather, and repeat, which are, this next round is really important. This pistol round is doubly important. And they can't afford to lose here because the money system will come and kick them in the arse.
Yep.
But it does repeat. You do only have a certain amount of rounds that really contribute to the winning and losing of the game. And for US, actually getting away without having to spend that much money this round, it kind of hasn't hurt them as much.
Yeah, I mean, that round only hurt them in the sense that they're down 1 more round. I mean, that didn't cost them 2 rounds. That cost them nothing. Oh, nice shot by Forrest there. Opens up on Pasha, who was peeking middle. Once again, a weak start for US. Get Right gets out, takes out Taz, and all of a sudden it's a 3v5, and things looking really, really bad for the Polish side here.
And they need someone. They need a Neo, they need a Taz to just get them that first frag and let them set the agenda. But that hasn't happened yet. Bialy is going to go looking. He gets himself the headshot onto Get Right. Get Right's been quiet in this game. Maybe those PC issues have come to bite him in the ass. Neo is going to wait for Fiflara in there. He will nade out and force a little bit of movement there, but Neo and Bialy both on half health. Snacks is lying in wait. Bialy's going to push out behind here, and he could maybe allow for a three-way gunshot going in, but nope. As soon as I get excited about the fact that he's coming from the rear, he gets dropped.
Yeah, that was a nice shot by Exist, though. Very quick turnaround headshot. It looks like US are going to try to save their weapons once again. That is going to make it 9-2 for NIP, and they're just getting such a big lead that it just, I mean, obviously in the second half, like we always say, things can turn around because teams can do the same thing in the second half themselves with the money system. They can break the other team's bank a whole bunch of times and just get a bunch of free rounds. But when you start trailing with as many rounds as US is going to be trailing 2-9 against the team that is one of the 2 best teams in the world, it's just really tough. Because ideally, when you're playing against a team that is better than you, you want to force them to make more mistakes than they normally do. Because if they make only the normal amount of mistakes and you play to your normal level, you're losing because they're a better team than you. So obviously something different has to happen here. And so far that is not happening. So far NIP is winning just as expected.
A little bit of quiet from the NIP side there. No real, I mean, you know this guy's better than I do, but no real kind of like, you know, emotion on their faces. They're 9-2 up, they're looking good, and no one really kind of saying, come on guys, you got this.
Trying to be mellow. Maybe that might be something they're trying out in general, just because I actually noticed NIP had been more vocal, I think in general, than, for example, the old Fnatic team of Get Right and Forest. Like, they were always a pretty quiet bunch. And something we talked about in the latest podcast episode is that when you get really emotional about winning, you also get really emotional about losing. You get on like this crazy roller coaster where when you win a big round, you're on cloud 9, but then when you lose a big round, you're just feeling terrible.
Here we go.
Sometimes it can be easier to just be mellow.
Freiburg opens up with 1 and 2, and that is beautiful. What can you do? He walks in, he dispatches of Snacks with a headshot, and then he just looks left and says, Neo, don't fancy you, out you go. And that instantly forces them into what looks like a defensive position. They're going to save out the weapons, go as far away from them as they can, and that's the end of the round. Freiburg decided it.
Yeah, Freiburg did what he used to do for NIP a whole bunch, getting those important entry frags. Not just 1 this time either, 2 of them, and he basically just won this round by himself. Right now, Get Right is already on the hunt. He's trying to chase these last 2 counter-terrorists. He already killed Pasha, so now US is only holding on to 1 gun in the hands of Taz. Bialy is not even trying to go for Pasha's gun. He knows NIP are watching it. And we'll see if Taz is able to save this gun. It looks like he will as he takes out Freiburg, but he's still going to see Fiflara in here coming up lane.
Somehow they get away. But that's the moment. Freiburg 1, Freiburg 2. It was really beautiful. Worth watching one more time. And phenomenal stuff. That's how you enter a bomb site, ladies and gentlemen. If you can copy that, you can play here.
That's really nice shots by Freiburg. I mean, that's how he wins rounds for NIP, because sometimes he gets those kills and it's a free round. And every now and then he may get one that may already be a free round. Sometimes he might only die, but if he gives good information to Forest coming in and he gets those kills, they still win the round.
Pushing up on Banana, you see 3 or 4 players going in, and Exist will open up, and Johnny Snacks is out. And this save round with that one weapon has already started badly for US. NIP not really following that one up. They're just trying to clear out every avenue. They've not committed to going towards the B site. The bomb still sits back just on the exit from spawn. And for your money here, I mean, is this NIP being brilliant or being good, as we would expect them to be, or US disappointing you?
NIP is playing well. I mean, they look like they're well prepared, and they're just playing good Counter-Strike. And when they play good Counter-Strike, and they've been hitting a bunch of shots too, which is obviously a key factor. When they do that, there's very little teams can do against them, and we've seen that here so far. It's a very dominant half. US hasn't really had many close rounds they could have won. I mean, almost all the rounds NIP have won, they've just been clearly the better team, and it wasn't even close. Aside from the pistol round, which coincidentally is the one that just completely set the tone for this entire half.
For NIP, they look like a well-oiled machine right now. Every move, even on this save round, is a coordinated move. They're so patient. They don't want to throw anything away. This is a bit of an evolution from them.
Well, the thing is, NIP has always had good communication, and they have good team play. They just don't have a lot of set strats that they can rely on. So the problem comes in when they play against teams who are equally skilled or more skilled than they are, because once they don't hit their shots, or they're getting out-aimed, even when they're playing well themselves, all of a sudden they don't have anything to fall back on, because they don't have those very well-planned strats with different flashes and nades clearing out areas. They just simply haven't had that previously. We'll see if they're prepared some of that for very games here. But if these teams can match NIP on an individual skill level, then they don't really have a lot to go for them unless they can just stop NIP as a team. And so far, NIP has been the team with much better team play in this game.
When you're losing, Counter-Strike can be a long and lonely road. And for Universal Soldiers thus far, if I look down on them, they look like they've been here for hours, and they look very lonely. Not much communication between the guys there. You can see Neo on the end, just head on his arm. He doesn't want to carry on. He's just like, all right, this has been a horrendous
Let's call it a day.
Yeah. Let's get us on to the next game, because the next game will decide the group. Remember the way this is played out. You have to win 2 to go through. So Universal Soldiers not out by a long shot, and here we go. It's going to be Freiburg 2. Just poke his head around the corner. Was blinded, and thus has fallen back. And we see the kind of, what I'd say, standard NIP from what we've seen. They'll drop the bomb here. They'll send 2 up banana. They'll send 2 up mid, and just see if they find anything. And if they don't, they'll default back to one of the 2 sides. And this time it's going to be B. They've got 3 players up on the catwalk with the bomb moving all the way up there. It's going to be a push coming in now. Freiburg leads the charge. Neo, though, dispatches of him with the help of Snacks. And Neo is going to charge through the smoke to open up onto one more. There's Neo. Exist gets himself 1. Snacks is out, but there's only 2 players left standing for NIP. It's a 4-on-2. Biflaren's trying to do something about that, but he can't. Exist was taken out by Pasha. And get right, it's time for him to deliver, as he's been somewhat subdued in this game by his high standards, and Pasha will waiting for him to go through, and there's Pasha for frag number 2. Can he finish off the hat-trick on the Get Right, but having spied the bomb down, he knows he's got to stay there. Neo out for the count, courtesy of Get Right, and Get Right has a hat-trick. He does deliver. This is sensational stuff from Get Right. 1-on-4, and he just can't finish it off.
That's one. Sensational. That's one. Over under.
Do you disagree? Was that not sensational? Are you not entertained?
I'm very entertained, but it would have been sensational if he won that round. Very entertained, but I want to save sensational. I'm saving it.
Okay.
Still.
Phenomenal stuff from Get Right.
Phenomenal stuff. I'm good with phenomenal.
Okay. So round 1 from Universal Soldiers. Let's not lose sight of that.
Yeah, that's round number 3. If they get 4th round here, win the second half piss round, we're back in business. So we'll just see what the Polish side choose to do here. Once again, that was pretty tough on their economy, losing those people at the very end of the round to Get Right. If they were able to just take Get Right out instantly, this would have been a whole lot easier as a round for them because they would have had money to buy more nades, better armor, all the good stuff.
And here we go. It's going to be Get Right to lead the assault. He's been quiet because actually in the attacks that they've done, he's not really been called upon. He's often been the man left to lead a solo push in one side, but he showed he's more than capable and more than on top form. Pasha will exchange frags, and we're down to a 4-on-4. Taz is between a rock and a very, very hard Swedish place, and he starts with a frag, tries to get himself out of trouble. He's just dancing around in front of Forrest through the smoke. Forrest is going to charge around the corner, but Taz has escaped in towards the site. Now here comes Forrest, looking towards that side, and he will... Oh, Taz left lonely there. No one helping him out. The push was always coming A. And you can see that they were so slow to get some support to him. And the bomb will be planted, and the round should go to NIP, which would take us to a 12-3 halftime score. As Johnny, don't want to write him off, but if he does this, I will eat Thorin's Lakers jacket.
Oh, you might have to fight him for it too. Let's get it off of him. Snacks left 1v2 now.
Not going to get it. I don't have to eat it. It's okay.
and top fragger for the first half for the entire servers Exist 15-8. Number 2 Forest 12-5. And number 3 Get Right 13-9. He had a slow start, but he definitely warmed up towards the end there.
Yeah, he got 2 exit rounds on the round where 2 exit frags on the round where they tried to escape out, and then he helped himself to 4 that previous round. You see the Universal Soldiers, and there, that is a look of I don't want to be here.
No, they don't want to be here on this server. They want to be a DreamHack, and they want to start with the next match because they obviously still have a very good chance of beating Recursive, potentially advancing as the number 2 seed in this group to face Fnatic in the quarterfinals, which are going to be right after. Both quarterfinals are now going to be played simultaneously to avoid further delays. And, you know, there's 10 grand guaranteed money on the line just for passing group stage. So,
and you can guarantee that whichever game we don't do on the main stage won't be delayed. Anders' games on Stream 2, none of them delayed. He knows what he's talking about. And we'll see. So we have a 12-3. We're going to spy. Bit of any talk coming out there. I'm looking down at the Universal side here. They're really just, even the managers walked away.
Universal Soldiers are just, they look so down on themselves. They just, like, all of them are just kind of sitting like this, slouched, and just staring down at their screen.
And from their perspective, so would I be, because they used to be at this level. They used to be the top dogs. So to have to go through what they've gone through just to try and scrape out of the group is a real struggle. There they are on camera, not loving life. And here you see Heaton offering his advice just to try and guide those teams through, guide his young Chargers through. You know what amazes me in Sweden? Look at Heaton's tan. It's freezing out there. Where did he get that tan?
Oh, gee, I don't know. It didn't originate from the sun. At least not in Sweden. I think that's safe to say.
So, not sure whether we have a delay or not because we're going to go live. In fact, here for the pistol in 3, 2, 1. Any hope for Universal?
There's still hope. It's never over, especially with guys like Taz and Neo here. But, you know, it's one round at a time, and we can't even talk about a game before they're at 10 or more rounds. They need to get to double digits.
No pressure, guys. No pressure. We're on board with Neo. He has shown glimpses of his former self as they make the push in towards B, and there are 3 players waiting for them, and those 3 start to unleash. It's going to be Neo that leads the charge around. He gets himself frag number 1. Pasha has frag number 2, but Get Right doubles, connects, and here we go. Get Right at the double once more. It's another hat trick. Fifth Laren will get frag number 4, and Get Right gets number 5. NIP turn on the style, and there's a round of applause for Get Right. Where did the fans come from for a round of applause?
I think they just woke up from a bit of a coma from watching NIP just run over US in the first half, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, new half, guys? Guys?
I've not heard a single clap for anything we've seen all day long, and suddenly from somewhere, I hear it.
Well, we know Swedes are massive homers, so it doesn't surprise me that Gerrit is the one who's going to be getting the loudest claps, but I mean, that was a sick round by him. It really looked like US were going to simply run over NIP's defense in the B side after those 2 entries, and Gerrit once again single-handedly just turned the round around with those 4 dual kills.
Here we go. Gerrit's going to be called into action once more. Here's frag number 1, 2, 3. Freiburg is going to help him out. And Gerrit's on form. And it's 14-3. And the crowd have awoken to the sound of Swedish fragging. And there is nothing more beautiful. Except maybe for an English team winning something in any type of sport or e-sport. But that just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you're dreaming again. I know you said you're tired, but let's be realistic with your dreams. I feel like it's just a letdown otherwise.
Yeah, good CSS teams. Anyway.
No comment. Okay, we're back here with another save round, or actually, yeah, another save round.
But it's a crucial one, because if Universal Soldiers don't get it, we're on to match point.
Yeah, indeed. So, I mean, this round, assuming nothing crazy happens here, is already going to give NIP match point at 15-3. So, right now, US are looking at Mount Everest to climb as their first mountain ever.
Yeah, they've got themselves the first 2. Last 2 players are going to go, the first 3. Last 2 players are going to go charging up Banana. And actually, they're just trying to wait on Banana, see whether anyone would chase them out. They haven't done. They turn around, and they're now going to come up mid. Bomb stuck down, and Bialy and Pasha are just like, well, let's just fire some bullets and see what happens. And they get themselves a frag. It's Gerrit that goes down. But that scant consolation. Well, Bialy has himself 1 more onto exist, and Pasha still on some form of health. Forrest pokes his head up and finds himself the last kill. We are on 12 match points, ladies and gentlemen. My bet is that we only need 1 of them.
Yeah, that's where the smart money is. Or we'll see how smart the money is that we just put there, but that's what I would also say. Universal Soldiers do have a ton of money now, obviously, because they double saved on the terrorist side. But the problem is, even if they get on a roll and start winning, it's just really hard to imagine them winning 12 straight rounds, because eventually something small is going to go wrong, or one of the NIP players is going to catch fire and just get killed 3 people. And US can no longer afford that, because NIP already has match point.
Gerrit doesn't need to catch fire. He's already on it.
Yeah.
But US keep the pace slow, which we didn't see from them at all in this game. Whenever they've had a gun round, it's just like, I'm Neo, I'm Taz, I'm good, I'm amazing, I'm going to go do this on my own. Oh, it didn't work. And we'll see. NIP going to have an attack coming up from Banana in towards his B site. They're all up there. We've only got 1 player watching the rear, and he's starting to make his way up. And this is either going to be really beautiful or it's going to be really quick, as Freiburg is the man standing between Poland and victory here as he darts back. Will grenade out. First frag's going to come the way of Snacks, and Gerrit had to quickly come back. Gerrit, who was previously nestled in that site. This was the one time that they only had 1 player in B. Bomb has been planted, and Snacks is going to be the one watching the players coming in from the building side as he buys him weight. He's got 2 there for him. He's got reinforcements on the right. Fifth Laren gets Nip's first frag for the round. And here come reinforcements. Fifth Laren frag number 2 with that famous power. Taz has been downed. And here goes Snacks around the corner. Opportunity knocks for Snacks. And it'll be Gerrit that reminds us all what he can do. And Gerrit from the side with the help of Fifth Laren should mop up Neo. But Neo is saying 1 more chance, 1 more stand. Neo delivers. And Universal Soldiers will fight on. It's 15-4.
They live to see another round.
And he doesn't look too happy about it. He's just gone clutch in the sight, and he still looks like he knows what the score is.
Yeah, I mean, you always, ideally, it's almost a cliche to say you take it 1 round at a time, but it's actually really hard when you're a player to completely ignore the score and just play almost as if you were in a vacuum and you're just playing a single round. Because when you think about it, you can win 12 rounds in a row against NIP. Like, can you win 12 single rounds? Of course you can. They just have to be consecutive at the right time. But it's just really hard to not think about the big picture.
The big picture is dangerous for the Poles. But let's get excited. Let's believe in the underdog. Let's believe in the Easter Bunny. Because if they were to win 12 consecutive rounds, I'd sure as I'll lose my voice.
That'd be sensational.
That would be. As we're only damage we've seen has gone to Freiburg, who's lost 45 points of health, as Universal Soldiers have slowly edged up the middle.
Once again, a slow round by the Pulse, by the way. Very slow start to the round. And unfortunately for them, Freiburg has pushed up all the way into Banana. So NIP has 4 players defending the A side. It's going to be really hard for US to take over the site.
As that first smoke exists, immune to it. Pasha opens up the first frag. Bomb has been planted in A. They got in, and NIP said, that's fine, come in. We'll come in after you. And there's Forrest. Beautiful frag going in onto Johnny, and it'll be Forrest to try and clear out here as he's got 2 players there. Fifth Laren's going to go for the next frag. It's Taz that's there. Here goes Neo pushing forward. He can't get through. Yes, he can. Fifth Laren's there, and there's the defuse. Forrest have finished up the round. NIP, to the rapturous round of applause, have picked up their first win. Get Right gets the high fives and leads the charge. And the map goes the way of NIP. They're through, as expected, into the knockout stages.
Yeah, and it's actually good to see the crowd here, because I just realized this is still the first day of DreamHack. So obviously there's going to be more and more people coming in. And by the end of tonight, probably everybody who's going to be here for BYOC is going to be here, but we're going to get more visitors tomorrow and especially Saturday. So, you know, the crowd is only going to get louder from here, and that's a great thing.
And on